Hey, what's up everyone? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review we are looking at the SH Figuarts Super Mario option parts set or accessory set. This is the pipe set. We get the pipes, a Goomba, some new hands, and a coin. We're going to take a look at this set and then we'll look at the other one in a separate review since they are basically their own items. Just some display options right there, you can see that. But let's actually look at what we get. In the packaging we get a large pipe, not opened, a short pipe opened. I'll explain how these can work later. We get another gold coin just like the one that came with Mario. Excuse me. Mine is not put together quite right. I don't know if you can see this seam there along this edge. They didn't push it together all the way, and I can't do it either, so it's like they got some extra glue in there or something, so that's a little disappointing. But no biggie. We do have a Goomba, which looks great. We'll just look at him real quick right now because there's not much to talk about. No articulation. It doesn't have a swivel or anything. You don't need it though. It's painted fairly well. The browns are a little sloppy down here on the feet, but everything else is okay. They painted and sculpted the face just the way I wanted them to, so I'm really happy about that. He is about 1.5 inches across, about 1.3 inches high, so pretty good size. And then in comparison to Mario, who is not included in this set, I think that's fairly accurate, so that's good. We do also get the Koopa Shell, which is sculpted and painted perfectly fine. No complaints there. I like that plenty for a size comparison. Just so you can see, we have that. For the Koopa Shell, we have these little clear pieces. We have two straight ones that look like that. I'm only going to show you one of them. There's two of those in the packaging and two of these bent ones that are about a 45-degree bend. And what those are for, if you can see inside there, I don't know if you can, maybe a little bit, you can peg these clear pieces in, and they only go one way. So let's see if I can get the right one. Okay, so we have the clear piece, and each hole has one of those. And those pegs are for the hands, so that you can have him holding the shell. So you have two of these open hands with the square peg at the bottom of the hand. Why it's designed like this, beyond me. It's just a little bit more laziness, I think. Poor design. I don't know what happened with these. It's just, I don't know. Everything with the Mario figure just feels like it's poorly executed. So that's about as well as you can have it look like he's holding the shell with the straight piece. And of course you can do that on both sides, and I'll show you how these peg in a second. But it's just not great. It's really not that great. So let's try it with the angled piece. I think it's a little better if memory serves. I was playing with this a little bit earlier before the review. So if you use the angled piece, if I can even get it in, these square peg holes don't work as well as I'd like. Yeah, it's still not that great. It's not much better at all. Maybe we can go the other way and put them in this way. It's a learning experience for everyone. I think this will be the better option if we can do it. And he can hold it like that, which is not that great. Maybe we can flip it around. Not like that, like that. You're gonna have to play with this and see what you like. It's just, like I said, the designs are a little, no, it's still just weird. There's no good way to do it, at least not that I've come across. I don't understand what they were thinking. But they apparently weren't thinking, I don't know. So then we also have, lastly, a small and a large base for the coin. So that one can hold the coin up a little bit, as is sometimes the case in the games. And this one can hold the coin flat, like it's on the ground. So there we go. So those are all of those pieces. I'll show you the hands now, I guess, and then we'll go into the pipes in a second. So the hands, if you saw the Mario review, these hands just pop off because it's a single peg, no articulation at all, and these hands just pop right on. But as I said in the Mario review, the fist hands are on at an angle, so they're a little awkward. Well, these hands, if those hands are awkward, these hands are really awkward. There goes the head that's poorly designed. These hands only go on at that really weird angle that's even more awkward. It's a big angle, and I guess that's to help him get his hands out in front of him because they made the shoulder and arm articulation so crappy. But the angle just means if you try to use his hand, try to pose his hand, it's going to look weird. It always looks like he's got his wrist contorted. So it's only really good for him holding the shell. Let's just put the head back on. which is going to be problematic anyway because he's so fat and has a big head and has poor articulation and short arms. So it's just not great at all. You can kind of put the hand up there so it looks like he's ready to fight, like if you're doing a Smash Brothers display. It just doesn't look great though. It's just, I don't know, it's awkward looking. That's the best way to describe it. It's just, it's really disappointing. I really wanted these things to be good, and they're just not good. They're acceptable, and there that goes again. They're acceptable at best. So that hand's not even on all the way because it's hard to peg it in, but we'll just put both hands on so you can see. His hands look like they're oversized a bit too much too, I think. So if you use those peg things, you can kind of get it to look like he's carrying the shell. I don't know. I don't really remember Mario carrying the shell around him too much in front. Maybe in the Super Nintendo game for a little while he could carry it and then drop it and kick it. That's not exactly an iconic thing for him to carry the shell, I don't think. Maybe it is. I could be wrong. But either way, it just seems like that's not what they should have been focusing on when they did. Alright, let's look at the pipes. So this is probably the best part of the set. I do like these pipes a lot. They probably should be metallic. I remember the pipes always having pretty heavy shading on them in the game, so it would have been nice to make them metallic. But either way, we have the tall one and the short one. The short one clearly has some depth to it, so Mario can be inside. The tall one does not. And the interesting thing about that is if you want the tall one to have the depth, that just comes off, and that can go inside. So now we have the depth in the tall one. So you have some display options, and now you have a really short one with no depth. So you can do whatever you want with that. So I do appreciate that. I appreciate the Goomba and the coins and the shell. So those accessories are all good. However, we still don't have a stand to use for Mario. We still don't have a good Mario figure really. And the hands they gave us as a special accessory in its own package are pretty lousy. So again, more disappointment. I'm not going to say don't get it because it's still the best Mario thing we have, but it's still just not as good as it should have been. And I don't know what happened there. Came that way. It looks like it's just a seam, but looks really ugly. So I don't know, more disappointment. So there it is, guys. I guess I should show you the height of the pipes. Almost 4 for the big one and 1.5 for the little one roughly. So more mediocrity. It's really disappointing. I'm sorry to break the news to you guys. Okay, there it is. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more figure reviews, custom figures, and other good stuff. And in the meantime, keep collecting.